I'm Bob Bladell. My position is Vice President of Training and Sales Enablement for Hyster-Yale. We make forklift equipment, everything from a little pallet jack that somebody could use to pull a pallet across a warehouse to some of the big cargo container unloading handlers that you see in ports around the country, and then everything in between. But my history before that, the last 8 years I've been with Hyster-Yale, is in the sales side. So I had 33 years of sales experience, running sales, local, regional, national sales teams in the transportation and the online recruitment space. So the biggest challenge we had was we had 4 places that we sent our salespeople to. First, they went to our learning management system, and if we beat them up enough, and if we threatened them, they would take the learning modules. Then we had our content management system, which really didn't have great search capability. People didn't use it. We had 0 reporting. And then we also had a site for our sales methodology. We use corporate visions for our sales methodology. So we created a 3rd site that we could send people there. And then, of course, we had our CRM, which is Salesforce. And from my experience on my sales side, if you give a salesperson 4 places to go, they're never going to manage, to adopt and leverage any one of them to any great extent. So our original plan was we wanted to create one site that reps could go to handle all 4 of those different areas. The long-term vision would be that would be Salesforce. But the first step in the process was to take the learning management, take the content management and the sales methodology and ingrain that in Highspot. So we did that over the first 3 years of our program with Highspot. And then this year we rolled out the integration with Salesforce. So now we have one spot, and not only do they access their materials there, we actually proactively deliver the appropriate content, the appropriate training tied to the opportunity, which is really the ability then for the rep to say, hey, there's some value in entering the CRM information into Salesforce because they get that content back in return. Yeah, so our sales plays are really set up in 4 different areas. One is industry is really, really important in our business. The equipment that a customer uses is really dictated by the industry they're in, the challenges that they have. So we have an industry sales play. Then, of course, we have our product sales plays. Then we have our solution sales plays for our more involved customer solutions. And then finally, we have our major account sales plays. So what's helped our people is that regardless of whether you're talking to a particular customer in an industry, a product, a solution, or even a major account, they know to get anything they need about that topic or that subject, the sales play is the place that they go into to access that information. So that's really what's helping us drive the adoption, is because that setup is kind of their one-stop shop for any information that they need for any of those topics. It's interesting, our sales plays look a little bit different, I think, from most. Actually, somebody from Highspot called it more of a sales kit. A lot of sales plays that I've seen will have instructions of do these things, and you also use the what to say, what to know, what to show methodology. We've adopted our sales methodology. So from the corporate vision standpoint, we break our sales plays into research, why change, why now, and then why us. And so we're reinforcing that methodology. But the key to me really in a good sales play is, does it give the rep the information they need at the time they need it in the sales process? And can they find it easily? And ultimately, does it help them close that deal more than they would have if they didn't have it? If you can do all of those things and deliver that information to the rep in an easy manner, right, then you've got something that they can actually leverage to drive their results. I think the best way to learn is to see. We hear a lot of presentations and they talk about the concepts of what they're doing. But for me, we created something that we thought was pretty good, but we really had no idea. I didn't have any point of comparison. And the ability to get together with our peers in one of those learning sessions and really share what we've done, one, gave validation that we were on the right track and we were doing some pretty unique things, but also to see how other people have set things up. And it was kind of from my sales experience, the things that I used in sales, I learned and I stole from what somebody else did that was successful for them. And to see other customers and how they've implemented their sales plays and just the use of Highspot in general has really been valuable for us to say, hey, there's further improvements that we can make. So seeing things in action is a lot better than hearing how they're set up. Yeah, this was the big challenge. What's the return? Everybody wants to know what's the return. And we used to just do the check the box. Did somebody take the training module? Check. Did somebody use the collateral? Check, right? But we didn't tie that to sales results. So about 3 months ago, we actually created from all of the different systems, from Highspot, from our learning system, from our CRM, and also from our order entry system. So now we have the ability to see, is somebody taking training? Are they using the tools? Are they quoting? Are they closing those deals? And then how much, business are they actually generating? And that gives us the ability to really tailor our coaching to that situation. And the numbers were pretty astounding. What we saw is if somebody tried to sell one of our products that we had a sales play for and collateral in, if they didn't use that collateral ever, but they tried to sell those products, they had a 0.25, 0.25% close ratio for those deals. If they just used one or more pieces of that collateral, their close rate was over 18%. So a really, really dramatic difference. So now we've actually started to share that data in our training to basically say, look, you can be in this boat or you can be in this boat. And that's what's helping us drive the adoption as well. I think, through the conference that we've been here the last couple of days, and you guys are always rolling out new and exciting features and enhancements to the site. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. You look at all this stuff and you think, hey, how can I ever integrate this? And more importantly, how can I get my salespeople to adopt it? But a couple of times it's been mentioned with the keynote yesterday, Alex Toussaint mentioned, take those small steps in order to make the great strides later on. And I think what we have to focus on is how can we take individual elements, build that into what we create for our people, and then drive the adoption on the back end. And the other thing that I just, wanted to share is really just a thank you to Highspot. What you've done, what you've created is really changing people's lives. I've lived the other side of the fence on the sales side and knowing that if you can be successful, how that can change your life. And the tool that you've created and what we're making available to our salespeople and all your other customers can change people's lives. And that's a pretty exciting thing to be part of.